Alright, this one's gonna be a little bit hard to make, but you ever feel like you just work so hard and you just feel like you're in the same spot over and over and over again? And I haven't really said much about it in these past few videos just because I haven't really tried to talk about it much and just with dealing with a bunch of things. And today we had an issue with my main store. We got terminated. Not sure why. If anyone here is watching this that knows me personally, they know that this has happened dozens of times, and it's not. I'm not doing any black hat stuff or anything like that. It's all legit. If you guys saw the product that I was selling, you guys would understand that I am not doing any stupid stuff to deserve this. And it's so frustrating just because I see so many people that do this, and they don't have any issues, man. Like they launch their store, they learn, they get good, and then they can just scale like effortlessly. They don't run into issues. Their Shopify payments aren't having issues, but it feels like every single time for some reason it just feels like me, just me, and I don't understand why half the time. Like emotionally, when I think about it, I kind of get upset, honestly, just in my own mind. And I just think like, God, why me? Like why me every single time? Out of everyone else, I put in so much effort than anyone else. I put in so much work, and all I do is just get beat down from it over and over and over again. And it's so tough to keep going. You just like you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's something that I need to work on. It's just staying positive at all times, but it's so hard for me to do that when it just feels like recently, especially, just one thing after another. Not just with ecom. Um, we had some stuff with RFW that came up. I've had a couple reviews. I had a review that wasn't even a customer of mine. It was just somebody writing a stupid review, and it's a 1 star, and now it's gonna be sitting up there forever. And all these things just beat down on me, man, and I just don't talk about it because I didn't want to. I don't really want to show a lot of this stuff to you guys. I don't want to post it, and I honestly didn't even feel like making this video today. But um, I have an obligation to, and I said that I would post every single day, and I think that these videos will help build character. And I think that looking back in a couple years, I'll be really glad that I posted all of these. But right now, it's so hard to even like keep my head up, man. Like just one thing after another, one thing after another. I just get beat down every single day. And I wake up, and it's not like a matter of like, all right, let's crush this day. Like I talk about that sometimes, but a lot of the times it's just being able to make it through. And it just feels like I'm not getting like the fulfillment that I want out of life right now. And I try and be grateful as much as I can, and I pray and I ask God for guidance and just strength through this. And I think he is doing it. And it's hard though, because I mean, like, I'll even talk about it. Like 2 days ago, I was out doing an estimate for landscaping, and it was such a long day. It was on my birthday, actually, and I just had so much going on. There was issues with my stores. We had a payment issue, not like Shopify, but with ads specifically, and it was just beating down on me all day. And I went to go do this estimate, and I thought it was gonna be a quick one, and it ended up being an hour and a half, just because the person was talking, and I kept trying to cut it off. And like mentally, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make it through. Like this sounds really stupid, but I in my mind I was like, I'm really gonna I might lose it like right here. Like I just can't. Not that like not doing anything stupid, but I might just like walk away. And I was like this close, just like a mental breakdown, and it feels like that every single day. And it's so tough, but I try and think a lot of the times, and I think it's important to thank God where you're at. And um I wake up in the morning and I choose what I want to do. Not exactly every day what I want to do, because there's a bunch of stuff that I don't want to do every single day. But I'm pretty blessed, like at my age, to be able to do what I do. I don't wake up and have to go clock in at a job. I don't have to wake up and listen to somebody else all day long. I get to do what I want, and I run my own businesses, and I think that's a gift. And it's something that I don't think I look at a bunch, just because I've been doing it for a while. And I look at a lot of people that I looked up to, and they're just absolutely crushing it. But I know probably deeper down they have their own issues too. But I just wake up and I'm blessed. I have my hands. I can smell. I can see. I can walk, and these are all things that a lot of people don't have. And so I think I'm very blessed in that aspect. But when you're just constantly getting beat down every single day, it feels like you just can't. You can't. It's so hard to look at that and be like, wow, like I'm grateful. Thank God for this. And I try and just pray throughout the day whenever I'm like really struggling with it. And, just ask God, like, please just give me the strength to, brighten up my mood. Because I don't have like a good mood 24/7. I'm just in a bad mood, disappointed in myself. And I feel like I'm just constantly letting down myself. But, you look back and you think about like how far you've come, and we've made some progress. But it just feels like I just get beat down every single time. And it feels like, especially these past couple of months, I've been trying to push so hard, working so long every day, like waking up earlier and then working all day. There's a couple of days where I slack off and I just beat down on myself. And I stay up late and I work on my stores, and it's so hard, just like with this stuff just being down on you, and it feels like you never catch a break. And I feel like I've been trying to push to get to bigger numbers, hit bigger milestones, and hit bigger goals, especially these past few months. And it just feels like I'm in such a like standstill right now. I haven't been making as much progress as I want to be making, and I think I can't be the only one, and I want to show this on you just because I think it's important for other people to see it too, because if I can help inspire one person, and I'm sure there's people in the world that are going through same things, worse things than me, and if I can help anyone just be able to connect with them just in some little bit of a way, that's all I'm trying to do on here. And yeah, man, like it's so tough every single day, just waking up, and it feels like a drag, and I just get beat down. And I know that like recently in the past, and I've seen a lot of things, and they talk, and I see like in a lot of videos, articles, and right before you hit your big break, you're at your like lowest point. And mentally right now, I could tell you this is like the worst that's ever been for me. And like I cannot think. Nothing's been enjoyable the past couple weeks, and I just can't get past it. And I try and just keep my head up and look at the end of the tunnel, or look at the light at the end of the tunnel, and keep going. And I sometimes ask myself, like, why me? But I also got to think, like, thank God that he's giving me all this pressure, because this is what I prayed for. I asked for to be busy, to have money, to have problems, not problems, but just bigger issues. And now that I have all those, it's just a little bit different. But I have to remember and think to where I used to be, and how much of a gift that God has given me for all of these things. And it's difficult, and I feel so stuck. But I know that as long as I keep my foot on the gas, that's the biggest thing, and I keep showing up. And for some reason, I do show up every single day. Every day I wake up, and every day throughout the day, I just want to give up and quit every single day of the week. But for some reason, there's something inside of me that God's telling me, don't quit. don't quit, just one more day, just one more day, just one more hour. And it's so brutal, but I know that, his calling for me is greater, and that's why it's late right now, and I don't want to film this video. I just finished a bunch of work, and I do not want to film this right now, but I know it's important to, because, I got to be held to the standard of, sharing for others and being able to inspire others, and just, keep getting after it one more minute at a time. And, God's been a big part of that. Just, I don't talk about it on here, and I don't want to either, just because I feel like that's more of a personal thing. But yeah, we've been pushing through it. And I also remember sometimes that, like, why me, why all this pressure? But then I think about where am I at 18? I'm in a position to do things that I want. I can order that car that I want. I can take a trip next week if I want. And I'm truly blessed to be in that position. And that I didn't get that just from, just doing what everyone else did. And I think that's why I have to be grateful for the trials and tribulations that God's been throwing at me, because I know that, I asked why me, but I also got to understand that why me, as in the sense as I'm the only one with all these issues that I know within probably 100-200 mile, even further radius, like, around me. And so I just got to remember to be thankful and grateful for all these things, and even the good and the bad. So I just try and think about that a lot. And another thing is just, I'm sure, a lot of people deal with this issue too. It's just, I have these issues and I talk about them. I don't talk about them to my parents because they don't understand. They work not for nothing, but they don't have these goals. And a lot of the goals that I talk about is, financial goals. Same thing with, like, some of my closest friends. I just cannot talk about these financial goals, these issues that I have, because I just can't do it, because it almost comes off in a sense of bragging in a way. And I don't think it's like cut off your day ones or anything like that, but it's just hard sometimes because it's like unrelatable. And you deal with all these things and all these issues that no one else is dealing with around you. Like, my parents don't think about these things. They think about other things. They don't have these goals and aspirations. And a lot of the stuff that I talk about is just straight financial gain, goals, scaling, things like that. And I don't really talk to my parents much about anything. They try and bring up work and stuff like that, but I don't want to talk about work. But I have nothing else to really talk about. And it's kind of upsetting just to kind of see that, where I don't really relate to a lot of people. And that's why I think it almost builds like a moat around me, like isolated, and I can't talk to a lot of people on it. So the only time I ever talk about it is just, in my mind and when I'm talking to the camera right now. And, I'm sure there's a lot of people that kind of deal with the same stuff, just in a weird spot of, like, you're not talking to people that you can fully relate to. They can't fully relate to you. But, these are also, like, these are my friends, and I don't want to, cut off relationships or anything like that. But it's just, I can't talk to them about stuff like this. And it's hard because, they can't give solid advice. And it's not anything to do with them. It's just, it's me, and I don't have anyone else to talk to it about. And they can't give solid advice because they don't have these experiences that I do. They just don't have these experiences that I do, and it makes it difficult to talk about a lot of this stuff. But I kind of have to just, like, shut that version off of me when I'm around them, which is, I think, a really good thing because it allows me to be more of a kid. But in times like right now, where I just need to talk and get things off my chest, is a little bit more difficult because I don't have anyone to talk to about it. And it's just more built up in my mind. I have to deal with this, and I just have to deal with it at all times. And it's not like I feel like a victim mentality or anything like that. It's just the decisions that I made that got me to this point right now in this time, filming this video. That's where I am, and I have to deal with these issues now. And they're so minuscule. I gotta be so grateful for the things that the issues that I have compared to everything else in the world, because objectively it's not, they're not issues, they're first world problems. And there's people that have it way worse than I do, and it's just a mental battle for me right now. But financially, physically, I'm okay, and I gotta be grateful for that too. So um yeah, I don't really feel like talking much more. It's really hard to make this video even right now, but we've been getting some good feedback on them, so I'm gonna keep posting these, and I hope to inspire people. And I want to show this. I want to show this side of me too, because I've kind of only showed like the performance side of me, like almost like just talking about what's the next plan, the goal, further down the line. But this is also something that's been on my mind a lot recently, and I want to share it with you guys just because it's been beating down on me a lot. But yeah, if you guys have anything, drop it down below. I'm not going to talk much more about this tonight. I'm just going to try and rest and put my mind at ease and get some good sleep, and talk to God and think about this for a bit. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. So I'll catch you. Peace.